and welcome whoever is here with us today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I love that about Facebook Live. It's going to be there for a while, and you can pick this up and watch it whenever it suits you, and do it. More importantly, um, hi, lovely people. This is Jane from Yoga with Jane, and I am so grateful to AARP Virgin Islands for hosting these health and wellness classes. There are two of these classes a week. One is yoga, one is more dance fitness. Um, and they've been doing this really since the shutdown, the very first shutdown. They're a beautiful organization. If you're not that familiar, perhaps you just heard about these classes and this is your first experience of AARP, but honestly, it's so worth going and checking them out. They've been taking care of people as they move into their wisdomhood, their seniorhood, for over 60 years now. And you don't have to be a senior to be involved with them and to be a member of their organization. They have so much to offer. And, bringing classes to their community when studios closed down and spaces where we practice were no longer available was just another shining example of the kind of care that they take with their community. And their community is anybody who is a member. But obviously it was originally and is really focused on helping us as we age, helping us age well, because it's not how long we live, it's how well we live, right? I also want to thank Breathe St. Thomas. Breathe St. Thomas was, I'm not sure, my home-based yoga studio here on St. Thomas. And yeah, it's not yet back up and open. But thanks to them also for sponsoring this class. I do highly appreciate it. It's a beautiful mindfulness little community here on the island of St. Thomas with Breathe. So I am on my deck. I hope you don't hear the construction. And I want to wish everyone happy holidays. My holiday consists of, thus far, beautiful poinsettias that were sent to me from my good girlfriend, Susan, up in North Carolina. It's like a strange time to sort of celebrate this year, but I'm so grateful for my splash of red Christmas poinsettias. So here we go. Find a comfy seat, whatever that looks like for you. Chair, cushion on a floor, carpet, tile, rug, yoga mats, cushion on top of that. And I would encourage you to have some cushions around you, actually, because we can use them throughout the practice as we go along. I would also encourage you to have some books around you, perhaps, or if you do have books in your home, if you're a yoga practitioner or you're a gym enthusiast and you do any kind of exercise regimen, is to pick up a few blocks, 2 blocks. You can also just find a solution with what's in your home. You can roll up towels. You can roll up long towels. They will create a version of a bolster. I'm sitting on a bolster. Love this bolster. The whole idea is these props help bring the earth up to meet your body where it is in a given moment. So just because maybe you did a class a couple of days ago and you didn't feel the need to use a prop, right? The body felt more flexible. You seem to have a little bit more mobility there. And today, not so much. So we're interested in what's happening now, right? The present moment. This is the only thing that we're really interested in, is what are all the sensations in your body now, in this moment? How is your breath in this moment? How's your state of mind in this moment? And how is your body, the sensations you're feeling in your body, just in this moment? So we're really quite disinterested in past and in future. The whole object of yoga is to find this linking, this beautiful linking of body and mind. And the only way we can really get to that is by being present, being in the moment. Many of you guys probably have read Ram Dass's Be Here Now. And really, it's a remarkable tool to have in our toolbox, to find tools and practices, and so we can develop habits that allow us to come into the present moment. Because there's clarity there, there's a calmness there. In the moment is where the parasympathetic nervous system is inclined to kick in, unless you're in a sense of danger, in a place of danger, a situation of danger. But if you're not, and you slow the breath down and you focus your attention on the breath, that in and of itself can bring you into this beautiful space called now. And it's hard to hold it there, you know, because our life is full of distraction, right? But if we can maintain that, even for just a short few breaths, we will be sending a message to the nervous system that all is well. And then in that place, all the great things of the world are available to us. A place of clarity, creativity, a place of love, forgiveness, compassion, a place of joy. Sympathetic nervous system's good. I'm not saying it's not. It's good. It's the one that we kick into when the tiger's coming our way, right? But how many tigers are coming our way in our life, in this moment, in this day, in this season? Perhaps a few are. And if they are, my heart goes out to you. All blessings to you. But even more so, if you're in struggle like that, find yourself in difficulty, even more so, try practices that allow you to come into the present, come into the now, and release the mental chatter, release the fear, and just be here in a moment. Okay? All right, so we're going to begin by warming up. Find your comfy seat, Sukhasana, and it should feel comfy. If it's not comfy, move. For some people, you know, sitting cross-legged is just not comfy. Okay, so then just move. Move your limbs. Please, if you haven't been doing anything physical, we really encourage you to talk to your healthcare provider before engaging in a physical regimen. Okay. I hope this class is of benefit to you. I'm so thrilled to be here, and let's begin with eyes closed, comfortable seat, and just coming into quietness and presence. Notice everything that is touching the earth. Sense it and feel it in your body. Notice the spaces around you, proprioception. Notice how you are sitting in space and time, what is around you. Can you feel the air around you? Can you feel space around you? Notice if there's tension in the body, perhaps in your neck and shoulders. Perhaps it's in your belly, a little tension in the belly. Can you feel that? Maybe the hips are beginning to be a little sore if you're sitting cross-legged because maybe they're super tight. Can you sense that? Can you feel the arms hanging down heavy and a sense of the palms of your hands and your fingers resting gently on your thighs? Can you sense that? You notice the chest, the diaphragm moving with breath, riding with the breath. in the front of the body, maybe also in the back of the body, in the back of the lungs. Can you feel that expansion and widening across what I like to call your wings, shoulder blades at the back? And now keeping your attention on your breath, gently drawing your mind's attention to the breath. Follow the breath in and follow the breath out. Your natural breath. And then I'm going to open the class here with the sound of Om. Right? And Om is just the universal sound. Some would consider it to be the sound of the cosmos. Other people would say it's the universal sound or the first sound. Whatever sound it is, it's a beautiful sound, and it opens up the throat chakra from where we speak our truth. And it also stimulates the vagus nerve, which both of them run up along inside the neck. And they also stimulate our parasympathetic nervous system. So a bunch of cool things about chanting. And so we're just going to chant Om. If you wish to do it, you're in your own space. You get to choose exactly what you want to do here this morning. But if you'd like to, join me. I like to put my hands in prayer, namaste position, feeling the thumbs against my sternum, and a nice strong connection with the base of my palms, fingers light. Inhale for Om. All right. So let's warm up a little bit on the exhale. Rounding for cat from a seated position, chin to chest, round the shoulders, belly to spine. Inhale, reach for cow, heart up to the sky. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And flow this with your breath for 3 more. Breath always leading the way throughout the yoga practice. It's a great spine mover, creating a little mobility first thing in the morning or at any time during the day. And how cool, you could sit on any chair anywhere and do that fairly easily, right? Okay, dropping the right ear down to the right shoulder. Let's open and look for some mobility in our neck. And I don't know about you guys, but for sure, my neck and shoulders are where I carry the most strain and tension. If you wish, you could take your right hand and gently rest it over the left ear, not to yank the head down. Please don't do that. Be loving kindness to your body temple today and every day. But it just sends a message that, that you're asking for what you're asking. It sends a clear, concise message to the body, and the body recognizes what it is you're asking. You could drop the left hand down beside you, reaching it down into the mat or the space beneath you, or just let it hang. Notice that gives a little bit more extension here, especially in the lower part. Inhale up, exhale it to the other side. Right off the bat, you'll notice, well, one side feels a little different than the other, or a lot different than the other. It's what it is to have a human body. Not all things are exactly the same. One leg is often a little longer than another. One foot is often a little wider or narrower than the other one. One side of the body sometimes feels stronger, more mobile. We notice this when we're in our balancing postures. Just breathe, close the eyes, stay here in the moment, which will keep you grounded in the sensations in the body and riding the wave of breath. Inhale, lift it on up. Exhale, let's walk the fingers and hands forward a little bit and draw the heart towards the earth. So the back is wide and flat, and we're just bringing the chest and the heart down. Take your time. See what you can feel coming up out of the hips, hip flexors. Could feel a little tight. Allow yourself to explore and be curious about any challenges you find. But at the same time, also invite yourself to be gentle, non-judgmental. Without any mental chatter like critique, okay? Because there's no right or wrong here. Right hand comes out to the side. Inhale, big lift up through the left arm and hand, gazing up above. Exhale, begin to slide over with a side bend to the right. Now this is where the blocks can be super helpful. You could have a block or a set of books to your right, and perhaps you can rest the forearm into the block. Remember how I said we bring the earth up to meet us where we are? As you can see, I brought the earth up about 2.5 inches, which is helpful in this moment. Inhale, lift it on up, and exhale it to the other side. Soft shoulder, the shoulder of the hand touching the earth. Make sure you're not holding it up in tension towards your left ear. Soft shoulder, move it down away from the ear. Keep the core engaged, so we're always protecting and supporting our core. And inhale, take it up. Let's do a gentle twist to one side. Take a couple of breaths here. To make a little bit more space to facilitate the twist, you can draw the navel back to the spine, which also helps engage some action in the core. And give you space to shift the belly in the twist. And let's go for the other side. Stay present, focused on breath and sensation in the body. Just be here, now. All right, back to center. Let's get onto all fours. We're going to do some cats and cows on all fours and a couple of other little stretching options. Just beginning to wake up the body. All right, so all fours, we're resting on the top of the feet and the shins, and hands and knees are hip distance apart, and so are the hands beneath us, kind of underneath the shoulders. From a tabletop flat back, we're going to inhale and reach for cow. So the tailbone's super high in the sky, and the belly is soft, and the heart's coming forward. Exhale, round up for cat. Pulling the navel back, letting the shoulders round, lifting the shoulders up. Inhale, reach for cow. And now flowing this with the pace of your breath. Let's go for 3 more. As big a movement or as small a movement as feels right for you. and come back to rest in the tabletop. All right, we're going to turn the right toes under and stretch the right leg behind us. And we're just going to rock the weight backwards and forwards. We're stretching out underneath the foot, and we're also stretching out that right leg, right? Just beginning to feel it, waking it up a little bit. And then we're going to pop the right leg up. On an exhale, begin to point and flex and point and flex and rotate the ankle one way and then the other. And then hug it underneath, bring it forward. Let the knee, at least intentionally, try to reach to the forehead or the nose, and inhale it out. Flex that foot, heel to the back of the room. Exhale, hug it under. Bring it forward. Inhale, take it out. 3 more. Flowing with your breath. And then lower that back foot down behind you. Let the toes point to the long edge of the mat. Perhaps shifting the left hand a little bit closer towards the left knee on the earth. And begin to open the torso up. So it's a version of a side plank, right? Pushing your weight down into the earth. And all parts that are touching the earth. And bring that arm back down. And find yourself back in tabletop position. Left leg goes back, toes turn under, and rock backwards and forwards a little bit. And then pop the leg on up. And notice right away, where does the tension begin to come into the body here? Just notice it. Don't critique or judge it. Notice it and see if you can find a softness there, a softening. Point and flex a few times. And rotate the ankle one way and another. Good. And then hug it under, bring it forward. On the exhale, and inhale it out. Keeping the foot strongly flexed as you push it away from the body to the back of the room. 4 more. And coming to lower the left foot with the toes pointing to the long side of the mat. And begin to open up in a twist to the left. Reaching those left fingers all the way up into the sky. And come on back down to all fours. Let's turn the toes under here and pull the hips back to meet the heels, if possible, at least as an intention, right? And just let the forehead rest on the earth. The mind is beginning to wander already. Just draw your attention to this inhale. And then this exhale. So that you stay present and grounded in your body. The somatic body. All right, to the toes under. Let's push it up for downward dog. And just begin to pedal the legs and feet if that feels good for you. And this is a gentle yoga class, guys. So, we're not going to be doing anything hectic here. We're just exploring, we're curious, we're kind, and we're mindful. On an exhale, draw forward into a high plank. So hips are high, we're not sinking down, loading our lower back. Inhale, lift the belly, rock it back for dog. 2 more. After you're in plank on the second one, lower the knees down to the earth, hugging the elbows in, control, bringing the chin and chest down, and lower the full body down. Forehead rests on the earth. Hands beside the chest, bring the shoulders off your back and down. Inhale, small Bhujangasana, baby cobra, and exhale, lower. And again, a little higher perhaps, and exhale, lower. Last one, a little higher still, until you need to push all the way up, weight in the hands, strong arms, still the knees are resting on the earth. And then if it feels appropriate, lift the knees off the earth. Heart comes forward, gazing forward. Lift the belly, toes wrap over, down dog. Get to walk the feet into the hands with straight legs if it's possible. Straight arms. Coming to the front of the mat. And hang the head down. And let the whole spine just unravel. You're just cascading like a waterfall, okay? A little bit of the knees might be good, especially if you've got super tight hamstrings, right? And glutes. And then begin to roll up, pulling the navel back. So you can stack the vertebrae as you come up. And touch the sky with the hands clasping, reaching the index fingers up. On the exhale, take a side bend over to the right. Inhale, center, reach for the sky. Exhale, side bend to the left. One more each side. Flow this with your breath now, your pace. Keep drawing the belly in, always to support your core. This time, after the inhale, center, open the torso to the right for a twist. Arms in a nice big wide T. And center, twist left. So the hips remain forward. One more each side. And all the way up to the top and fold it forward. All the way down to the mat. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs, take the right leg back. And lower the right knee down to the earth. Come on up with the arms and the torso. And then offer a gentle lunge. So we're lunging through the left leg and hip. Stretching up that right thigh. Soft shoulders. Letting the pelvis reach super far forward to the front of your mat. Right hand comes down. And open up with a twist to the left. Breathe. Feel this expanse. Left hand comes down behind the back. Sweep it alongside the left ear, reaching your back into a tabletop. Really pulling the body forward here. And then pull the hips back and open to the twist. Good. Hands come down inside that foot. So both hands now lining up underneath the shoulders. Walk that left foot out to the side of the mat, perhaps even outside the mat, and offer that same lunge. So we've just widened the position. You might even open and close that left knee once or twice to make sure the inner groin muscle isn't stuck in any way. Flat back, heart is pulling you forward, coming to the front of the room. Good. Turn the back toes under. Lift the back knee off the earth. Push the right heel, the back heel to the back of the mat. You'll feel how it lengthens that right leg. And again, open for the twist. And bring that left foot back into the center. Hands frame the foot. Lift the belly, take it back, down dog. And pedal here if that feels nice for the legs. Good. And now bring the right foot forward and through. Lower the left knee to the earth. Draw the upper body up. Initially, we're straight up here, not lunging, right? And then we invite the lunge. I always like to say, check out that bent knee is over the ankle, as opposed to it being forward of the toes. Not that it's a have to, but for many people, that just puts a lot of pressure on the knee joint itself. If it's too far forward, it's just taking a lot of the pressure. So we lunge. Soft shoulders. Now you can create your own little back bend here, and you can create more of it by how much you attempt to lift up through the chest and the heart, right? So it's up to you. Good. Right hand, left hand comes down and lands. Pull the hips back just a little. Reach for a twist. Dropping the right hand down behind the back. Big bend through that right knee now. Sweep the right arm alongside the right ear. Reaching your whole body forward to the front of the room. And pull the hips back and open again for the twist. Good. Coming down with the hands inside the foot, walking the foot out to the side. Maybe opening and closing the right knee and thigh, and lunge. So we're attempting not to necessarily round the upper back here. We're attempting to flatten out the back and drawing the heart forward. Turn the toes at the back under, lift the knee off the earth, push that left heel to the back of the room, stretching that left leg. And again, open for the twist. Breathe. Feel this big expansiveness here. Walking the foot back into the middle of the mat, hands frame it, lift the belly, take it back, down dog. Feels so good to be moving, everything waking up. And again, with straight legs, walk the feet into the hands, if it's possible. Inhale, tabletop, flat back. Hands on your shins or beside your feet. Exhale, bend the legs and let the chest and belly rest on the thighs. So it's quite a big bend. You're creating a tabletop here, right? And then offer a gentle sway through the upper body, side to side, and hang. Now, if anybody has low blood pressure and they're not on medication, this is probably not a great idea. So there would be a contraindication for that. But hopefully you know your body super well, you've checked with your healthcare provider, and you're willing to be really kind and appropriate and mindful with everything that you do. And roll up. All right. And drop the hands down in front of the heart. Rock forward and back and find your center of gravity. So your sweet spot here, okay? Close your eyes so you can feel it. Not see anything, but feel everything. You own the spot. This is your piece of rock on the earth at this moment in time. It's yours. Claim it, own it. All right, we're going to do warrior 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to do triangle. And then we'll see where we go from there. Keeping an eye on the time. We're only going to do those 3 or 4 standing postures, and then we're going to get down on the earth. Okay, so hope everyone's feeling good. Drink water. If you want to just chill and relax on your mat, that's cool too. Whatever works for you and is a benefit for you this morning. All right, here we go. Inhale, reach it up. And float it down. Tabletop. Right leg back. Lower the right foot down to the ground. Reach up for warrior 1. 2 breaths here. Really feel the both feet grounded deeply into the earth. Pull that left hip back with you so the spine is long and tall. Good. Open warrior two. Soft shoulders. Relax. Remember, the tension starts to creep into the body. Relax. Inhale, taking up the front leg arm and exhaling to the back of the mat. Side bend. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale to the front of the mat. And again, flowing this with your breath. Everything in yoga is about the breath. It's a completely breath-centered, breath-orientated, breath-directed practice. Back up through center. Turn the feet parallel. Hands reach behind the back. Clasp. Inhale, reach them back away from you and then begin to bring them up. And with a flat back, let the arms come over the head. Sway a little through the upper shoulders, side to side. Just looking for some softening here. And then gently let the hands come to land underneath the shoulders. Inhale, tabletop, flat back. So drawing the heart forward. Big stretch up the back of the legs, right? Up the glutes there. Exhale, fold. Bend the legs. Draw the belly up. Open the arms into cactus hands, turn feet out. 2 breaths. Going as low as feels appropriate to go here. Straightening up the legs, turn the body all the way around to the front of the mat. Reach up for warrior one on the other side. Let's take a little salute here in the warrior one position. Bring the back hand down the back leg and sweep the front arm up, saluting the sun here. And reach the hands behind the back, clasp them, lift them back up and away, and bring them over as you fold the upper body down inside the front leg. Coming back up, engage strongly through the core, and open to warrior two. So we're on warrior two on the other side, right? Okay. Nice, deep, soft bend here. Same thing with the knee over the ankle. Just check it out for yourself. It feels right and comfy for you. And straightening up the legs. Take the side bend to the back of the mat. Inhale it up. And side bend. Coming towards the front of the mat. And again. I'm hoping it's feeling really good to stretch the body and flow with the movement of your breath, that you're finding a rhythm here and that it serves you. Taking it to the back. And last one to the front. Good. Coming up tall, turning the feet parallel. Again, hands clasped behind the back. Inhale, reach them back up and away. Folding it down. And lowering the hands. Now notice where the weight is. Is it all in the back of the heels? For many people it is. Is it all in the front of the toes? For many people it is. Can you find your center of gravity here? Drop the right hand down flat onto the floor, or our trusty blocks. Maybe the hand rests on a block or a stack of books, and open up for a twist to the left. Breathe. Good. Lower it back down. Inhale, tabletop, flat back, heart's reaching forward. Exhale, left hand is flattened on the ground or on a block and twist open to the right. And both hands come down either on a block or onto the earth. And we want to take the left hand around the right ankle, spinning open through the right upper body, folding into the right leg. Right arm up to the sky. Inhale, center, tabletop. Heart comes forward. Exhale, other side. Right hand around, left ankle. Inhale, center. Last one, tabletop, flat back. Exhale, spin all the way around in this open position. And fold your upper body down into the front leg. Big stretch. Inhale, come all the way around to the other side, to the left side. Or if you were left, you're going to the right. And again, pull that left hip back into the body and fold in to the front leg. Come all the way around to center. Last, tabletop, flat back. Reach the heart forward. Bend the legs, walk the feet together a little bit, piece by piece, until you can find yourself in Malasana, sometimes called garland. It's the squat position, pushing the elbows into the knees, pushing the knees into the elbows, base of the palms strongly together. Let the fingers just touch and dance with each other. Feel the back of the thumbs into the sternum. Good. And rock forward. Those who wish to go in crow, Bakasana can do so. Otherwise, tabletop, fold in, and roll it up. Okay, dropping the hands down. We're going to do Warrior 3, okay? So Warrior 3, for those of you who don't know, for whom this is a new practice, Warrior 3 is a balancing posture, standing on one leg. So I'd like to recommend that if you have a chair close by, you can certainly utilize that by having the chair at the top end of the mat or the bottom end of the mat so that you have something to hold on to, right? If you're doing it on the other side, you could either move the chair to the other side or the other end of your mat, and now the chair is here ready to be a tool, a prop for you. I'm on my deck, so I have a balustrade. I can use that. Right, I have this balustrade over here, which actually you can't see, but I have it. And what's nice about doing that is it invites you to get into the posture, get into the pose, kind of be there, feeling supported and nourished and held. And then you can attempt to release that hold and that temporary tool that you've utilized, and just test the waters, you know, without feeling like you're going to fall over. You just test the waters, taking the hand off and maybe putting it back if you need to. It's just a great way to learn a posture, not for you to academically learn a posture, for the body to become very, well, so that the posture embeds itself in the body, right? That's how we develop muscle memory. So it's a great way to kind of learn something new, direct a new habit for the body to take. So let's begin. We're going to send the right leg back first, okay? So coming towards the front of the mat, we'll reach up, inhale, take it up, exhale, float it down, inhale, tabletop, exhale, bend the legs. We're going to take the right leg back. We're just resting on the toes. The toes are turned under on the right foot, and we're shifting all the weight onto the left leg. Flattening out the back until we can reach the right leg up and off the earth, creating this tabletop position. Breathe. Flex that back foot strongly. Bend both legs. Let the feet come to land. Inhale, tabletop. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, tabletop. We're going on the left side. Take the left leg back. And if you have your balustrade or your chair, feel free to utilize that. Maybe you change the position of your arms on the other side. Breathe. Bending both legs. Let the feet come to land. Good. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, bend the legs. As we come to roll up, let's draw the right foot up for tree. Tree can be foot on foot, foot inside calf, foot inside thigh. Doesn't matter where, but choose a spot. So again, we're standing on one leg. And if it feels good to you to have a prop to the side for balance, go for it. I like to begin with hands in Samastitihi in prayer. Namaste. We want to feel as a tree that we're deeply rooted and grounded into the earth. And sometimes it's helpful to think about growing roots underneath the feet, underneath the foot, the standing foot, right? And letting those roots grow deep, deep into the earth, drawing into the sustenance, the nourishment, and the stability of the earth. And at the same time, we know that a tree, a plant, must reach for the light also, right? So we want to have that same sort of sense, that same quality within the upper body. So as the one reaches down deeply in the earth, the other upper body is reaching up for the light. And what that also does physiologically while we're doing this is it lets the posture be lighter. As we reach the torso up, beginning from the pelvic floor, up through the belly, up through the heart, as we do all that, we kind of take the pressure out of the leg that we're standing on. Everything becomes somewhat lighter. Gazing at something 4 to 6 feet in front of you that's not moving, that is still, so not a shadow, is helpful. Follow your breath. Now you can play around with the arms, which would be branches of your tree. Or you just leave them where they were. And then gently release. And maybe shake the legs out if that feels good. And let's go for the other side. Just sense and feel all these things that are happening during your tree. And balancing poses can be quite challenging. Even a simple pose like tree can be very challenging, depending on how you're feeling in your body. Where's your state of mind? If you're anxious, agitated, worried, it's going to be much harder to just bring yourself back to this present moment and feel yourself secure and grounded and strong in your body. All these things play their part, So be kind. I always want to say that. Be kind, No judgment, no critique. Maybe today is not a balancing day. It's cool. It's just a yoga practice, right? So keep it light. Keep it light. But keep trying, you know. We fall over, we smile, we don't judge, and we try again. And gently release and shake it out. All right, let's get down on the earth. All right, shake the legs out, letting them be soft. Let's come down, laying on our backs and drawing the legs into the chest and just rolling side to side. Hugging your arms around your shins, okay? And then placing the feet hip distance apart on your mat. Now, if you have a block or a book or a few towels rolled up, I invite you to slide that between the thighs and then hold on to it. Okay, so it's like you're squeezing the block or squeezing whatever it is you're able to place there to do this. If you don't have or a ball, right? You could have had a ball like a gym ball, just something that you could place between the legs and have the sensation of squeezing it and releasing it, squeezing it and releasing it. All right, so the arms are by your side. And on the exhale, you're going to squeeze the block tight, tight, tight. And on the inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze. And inhale, release. Now squeeze and lift the legs up. Maybe reposition to make space. So now the legs are off the earth. The feet are flexed strongly. And we again, on the exhale, squeeze the block. Release. Squeeze and release. Last one, squeeze and release. Can you feel how it's engaging both the abductors and the adductors and also the core at the same time? Raise the legs up. Still holding on to the block. Feet are flexed. Pushing the heels up to heaven. Okay, so that lengthens the legs. And again, squeeze the block. Release. Two more. With breath. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, release. Now we're going to begin to lower the legs. If you have lower back issues, I do recommend you lift your lower back off the earth and place the hands in your lower back to somewhat protect the lower back. Okay? This is all about core to keep the lower back protected. So as we're squeezing the block and we're gently and with control lowering the legs, continuing to squeeze the block, you are breathing all the way until the legs are just hovering above the earth. Pushing the heels away to the front of your mat, drawing the toes towards your body. Slowly draw the legs back on up. Let's do it one more time. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Contract through the abdomen. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Soft shoulders, squeeze. Hover and bring it on up. Lower the feet. Remove the block. Good. And then open the knees wide. Let the knees come to touch and offer a little windshield wipe, side to side. Okay, drawing the legs back on up into the center. We're going to drop them down to the right-hand side. Now, if you need, this should feel comfy, okay? It's a supine twist and it should feel comfortable. So the intention is to get the legs to land. And by that, I mean so that they actually are touching each other, one on top of the other, and the lower one is resting on the earth. If it's not resting, if this does not feel easy and you're kind of having to hold your legs because they haven't gone all the way over, again, take some version of a block or books or tools or bricks or whatever you've got and utilize it to bring the earth up to meet your body where it can be comfortable, where it can feel at ease. And then with the upper body, the idea is to try to some extent to feel both the obvious right side of the upper body touching the earth, but also some part of the left side. Maybe it's the left wing, right? The left shoulder blade can rest on the earth. So it's a very relaxing pose, and yet there's a lot of great stuff going on in terms of what we're moving both inside the body, organs being twisted, which is really great for the organs, particularly the digestive system. Really good to do twists. And also what's going on in the skeletal body, right? The spine, the hip flexors, what's going on in the muscular body. The big psoas muscle is getting a nice big stretch here. What's going on in the fascia? That's that spidery, webbish kind of layering of tissue all over, all places within the body, all bones, all ligaments, joints, tendons, muscles. It's this kind of interlocking film of tissue, which is inclined to kind of tighten up around, as a protective mechanism, around all our joints and bones and ligaments and tendons. But what we really want to do is we want to move the fascia. We want to enable it to unstick itself, to find freedom. Imagine a spider web breaking up gently, right? And so movement allows for that to happen. So that's why in the morning when we first get up, we feel stiff. Draw the legs up, rest here in the center, feel how that feels, and then let the legs come over to the other side. And remember, noticing once again, one side feels quite different than the other. And the head could be wherever it feels most appropriate for you, most relaxing for you. So there are many different twists in the yoga, school of yoga. Some are quite demanding. All the different kind of lineages, branded yoga names have their own versions of twists, taken, from the very traditional early classical yoga postures, but some of them are meant to be quite challenging and demanding. This one is meant to be softening and relaxing. And draw it back on up and hug around the shins. And then lower the feet down. Now I want to do a version of an inversion, okay, to finish up. So for a really gentle, relaxing inversion, I'm going to recommend legs up the wall, okay? And so what we would do to establish that would be we would come all the way to our wall and we would place our hips right along the edge of the wall. Right? We'd place our hips right along the edge of the wall, and then we would lay back down and we would move our booty in to the fascia board at the bottom of the wall, where the wall meets the floor, and we would just take our legs on up the wall. And let our arms rest out to the side. And let the feet be super soft and wide enough so they naturally can fall out. So that would be one, right? The other one could be your own version of shoulder stand, of headstand, of handstand, of bridge, of wheel. I mean, there are many, many choices here. But let's do the simple bridge, okay? This is a modified, easy, simple bridge here. For those of us who would like to get upside down, but not get crazy. Okay, simple bridge. So the feet are hip distance apart, the feet are resting flat on the earth, the back is flat on the earth. We're going to begin by the knees are separated, they're in line with the hips, by raising the pelvis up. From there, we're going to be able to clasp the hands underneath the pelvis, shifting the weight onto the very back and outside of the arms, and making sure now, pulling the hands down towards the heels. So the arms are long and stretching out, and we've shifted the weight onto the outer edges of the arms, and we're centering and the backs of the shoulders. So now we want to make sure the neck is soft, free and clear. So that is going to mean you need to find the sweet spot on the back of your head to rest on so that there's no tension in the neck. And then with every inhale, we're going to breathe the pelvis up towards the sky. And on the exhale, we're just going to maintain that height. If there's any pain in the knees, feel free to, number one, you could get out of the pose entirely, or you could move your knees further away from the body towards the front of your mat, or you could maybe widen the feet a little bit and therefore the knees. There's definitely sensation in this posture, but if there's any pain at all, please come out of there. It is not then appropriate for your body in this moment, on this day. Maybe not ever, but what we care about is where is it at for you in your body in this moment. And then to gently come back, release the hands and begin to use the forearms and the hands as brakes. And slowly rolling from the top down, begin to lower your back to the earth. Until you're all the way landed. And then again, draw the legs up into the chest. If you were in shoulder stand, please come gently out of your shoulder stand. And a nice counter pose, a simple counter pose for anyone who was in an inversion is simply Balasana, child's pose, or your version of child's pose. Knees wide, toes touch, forehead rests. Hips reach back for the heels. And then let's make our way into Shavasana. And once you're laying in Shavasana, you should feel free to stay here as long as you wish. I'm going to check out of here, but you can feel free to just remain right here. Okay? So I want to wish you well. I want to wish you happy holidays. And I want to offer you this little metta mantra, little loving kindness mantra, which you can do for yourself every day. I certainly do it for me. And you can also send it out to other people, thus expanding and growing your own capacity for loving kindness so that that might serve others. May you be well. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.